Saxony Lutheran High School this week, but with the rainfall, the storms yesterday, their field not in playable condition, and so Coach Sander calls the folks here at Kappa Hall, and we get to play at the home of the Redhawks, home of the Cape Catfish, as well as we are in Kappa Hall Park here at Kappa Hall Field this evening. 6:15 first pitch, and on the mound for Saxony Lutheran is going to be Wilson Lodge. He gets the start. He did not get the decision in the opening game of the year. That was the opening game of the doubleheader at Fredericktown. He went 4 1/3 in that one, had 4 strikeouts and 3 walks, 3 hits given up, and 1 run, and that was his only appearance so far. Saxony Lutheran takes the field to warm up. We do have umpires, so they'll meet very soon momentarily. Let's go ahead and take a break here on Pure Country C106, play our national anthem and all of that, and be back for Saxony Lutheran versus Bell City from Kappa Hall Field here on Pure Country C106.
So he just sent him to the field. Are we going to do the national anthem, or are we?
I don't know. They took the field, so I'm going to say not doing one.
Okay.
Over the PA.
And we're not doing starting lineups either.
Doesn't look like it.
All right, game on.
Game on.
They're trying to start as soon as possible.
We got umpires, so let's play ball. That's what I say.
Amen.
I'll do my quick break here and be done.
I think he's playing it already.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wonder if he's cut back. You're gonna announce him anyway, right?
What's that?
You're not gonna put the number up with that.
Yeah, I got a lecture from my father when I got home the other night. I want to know what their number is. I want to know what position they're playing.
Well, you know, he's never done that very too many times. I knew him before he knew me because I was in all the Siegel games years ago.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
From Kappa Hall Field, it'll be Bell City leading off against Wilson Lodge on the mound for the Crusaders. Bell City's lineup will go this way. Easton Newell will lead it off. He's going to catch for the Cubs today. Bryson Maddox, the shortstop, bats second. Aiden Ann Schultz plays first and bats third. Then it's Logan Stubenrau in the cleanup spot at third base. Dawson Loomis is the pitcher, and he'll bat fifth. Baylor F-Tank plays second and bats sixth. Chase Schaefer in left field will bat seventh. Luke Daniels, the right fielder, bats eighth. And the center fielder, Caden Curtis, will bat ninth for the Cubs. We will set Saxony Lutheran defensively momentarily as pitch number 1 is a ball low. As Wilson Lodge misses to Easton Newell. From the windup, Wilson Lodge, where's number 4, brings home this one. It's a drill shot into left field, and Hunter Hamilton plays that on one hop. A leadoff single here for the Cubs. And Easton Newell. So you know that Hunter Hamilton is in left field, Zach Lewis in center. Blake Gabler gets another start in right field today. Defensively on the infield, Jacob Johnson behind the plate for Wilson Lodge. Drew Haas at third, Colin Terry at shortstop, Jace Boland at second base, and Aaron Eubanks gets another start over at first base today. And he will hold the lead man on Easton Newell after the leadoff single here. The Cubs, as I said, 2-2 this season. And offering at the first pitch with a bunt. Pickoff play down to first and out. Ho-ho! Jacob Johnson behind the plate shows off the cannon. It was a sacrifice bunt offering by Bryson Maddox. He took it for a strike, missed with the bunt offer. Fireball down to first base and out is Newell, picked off for out number 1. Throwing behind him, there's that Yadier Molina throwing down to Pujols all those years. I mean, that's the kind of play it was right there. Throwing behind the runner. Aaron Eubanks slaps on the tag. How about Pujols coming back to the Cardinals? You like that if you're a Cardinal fan. 1-1 pitch coming to Bryson Maddox. It's a chop ball with a big high hop for Colin Terry at short. Firing over the first and stretching his Eubanks in out. Is Bryson Maddox. So great defense so far for the Crusaders. And here at Kappa Hall Field on the turf, you will not get a foul bounce. You will get a straight up bounce every time. The only thing that can, so to speak, cause a bad hop here on the turf is one that has some spin on it. So if somebody, knobs one or turns their hands over as they make contact and you get front spin on a ball, then you might see kind of an errant hop or two. But for the most part, you're going to get straight bounces here on the turf at Kappa Hall. Standing in now is Aiden Anschultz, first baseman. Bats third for Bell City. Breaking pitch, missed it outside. Ball one from Wilson Lodge. 2 outs, top of the first. And a chilly evening here at Capitol, but the wind has died down. So it's not terrible bad out here. Inside with that one, Lodge behind 2-0, Aiden Anschultz. Lodge for his career is a 3-1 on the mound, a 1.12 ERA and 25 innings pitched. He has 33 strikeouts for his career. Opponents bat .213 against him. As Jacob Johnson tried to frame that pitch on the outside corner, but couldn't bring it in. So it'll be ball number 3. The party porch out in right field is empty this evening. That thing fills up for SEMO home games and Catfish games for sure, but nobody out there today. Provides a great view, but a bit chilly for the party porch this evening. It's a 4-pitch walk to Anschultz. He's on. Second base runner of the first inning, however, he's out there all alone as Easton Newell was picked off after his leadoff single.
Third baseman, number 16.
16, Logan Stubenrau plays third base. He'll bat here. Stands in from the right side with the man on first. Zach Lewis a little bit deep in center field. The corner outfielders play average. And it's a ground ball to Drew Haas at third base. Just foul. Made the backhand grab. Would have been a tough play to get Stubenrau down the line, but ball went foul for strike number 1. Last season, Bell City went 11-10. They lost to Saxony Lutheran 6-3. How about this for a baseball score? Bell City beat Richland last year 42-2. Yes, 42-2, a 40-run differential in what was a 3-inning game. Bell City over Richland last year. As I said, Richland, hard times on their baseball diamond. Step off here by Wilson Lodge. He'll reset. He's ahead 0-1 to Logan Stubenrau. Eubanks holds Anschultz on at first base. Pitch misses inside, ball 1. Saxony Lutheran, they're going with Jace Boland in the leadoff spot in their half of the inning. Hunter Hamilton and Zach Lewis round out the top 3 in the lineup. We'll bring that to you here in the bottom of the first inning. Lodge's curveball misses outside, although Johnson tried to frame it back there. 2-1. And here at Capitol, I'm high enough in the air and I'm directly behind home plate. It's really interesting to see the ball cross the plate and see the breaking balls move. Fastball inside, misses again. 3-1 count to Stubenrau. So Lodge started off pretty efficient. He did give up the single, but then got his defense to help him. Got a ground ball to the shortstop with batter number 2. Then he walked the 3-hole man. Catches the inside corner with that one. Fills the count at 3-2 on Stubenrau. Bell City's enrollment, 57, so an average size Class 1 school. How about this team won the Class 1 state championship 3 seasons in a row. Grounder to the second baseman, gloved by Johnson. Flip it to Terry. Sorry, that's Jace Boland at second base this evening. He flips it to Colin Terry. And Logan Stubenrau grounds out to end the top of the first inning. We move to the bottom of the first. As I mentioned, it'll be Jace Boland, then Hunter Hamilton, then Zach Lewis. After this, at Capitol Field, we are scoreless heading to the bottom of the second. The bottom of the first, pardon me. Saxony Lutheran up to bat after this on C106.
You gotta hate it when it's smarter than you and I are.
Amen, brother.
Bottom of the first inning incoming, and it will be the Crusaders with Jace Boland, then Hunter Hamilton, then Zach Lewis. Batting fourth today is Jacob Johnson, so he gets promoted in the lineup up to the cleanup spot. Then it's Wilson Lodge, the pitcher. He'll bat fifth. Colin Terry, the shortstop, bats 6th. Drew Haas bats 7th. Then it's Blake Gabler, 8th. And Aaron Eubanks rounds it out in the 9th spot this evening. On the mound for Bell City is going to be Dawson Loomis. Behind the plate for them, Easton Newell, first base. Aiden Anschultz. Baylor Eftink plays 2nd. Bryson Maddox at shortstop. Logan Stupenrau patrols at 3rd. Chase Schaefer in left field. Caden Curtis in center. And Luke Daniels is in right field today for head coach Justin Simfer. They only have 2 substitute players. That's Andrew Martin and Blake Smith. So they have only 11 men on the roster here for the Bell City Cubs. Saxony Lutheran comes into this game, as I said, on a 3-game winning streak. They dropped the opening game of the doubleheader at Fredericktown. Picked up the second one, however. Had some more games rained out after those were scheduled. All of that. They defeated St. Pius Monday. They knocked off East Prairie 4-2 on Tuesday, and then they get Bell City here this evening. Tomorrow they are expected to play at Bloomfield. We'll see if that one happens, depending on what kind of shape Bloomfield's field is in. So, leading off will be Jace Boland. Now, he struggled against East Prairie at the plate, but had some great defensive plays. Boy, he gives this one a ride high and deep to left field. He's going to drift out of play. Long run to make. Oh, he almost made the grab in left field. Foul territory, Chase Schaefer. I thought that thing was going to pull and drift outside of the fence, but it stayed in. Schaefer got a glove on it. It popped out. Then he tried to barehand it in the air. Couldn't bring it in. So it's just a long, loud strike for Jace Boland. Back to work is Dawson Loomis on the mound. Squints in over the top of his glove. Now brings it home. Nice curveball catches the inside corner. Strike 2. They play Boland to pull in center field out there. Caden Curtis a few steps into the left field gap. Next pitch comes missing outside. Ball 1. And everywhere else pretty well straight up here for Boland. He's 0 for 4 with a strikeout against East Prairie on Tuesday. Fouls one back over the top of us and out of play. Oh, evens the count at 2-2. Boland wears number 18, bats from the right-handed side. Crowds the plate a touch, and he waits on this one from Loomis. He crowds it down. The breaking ball does not get over the plate. It beams him on the back, so it's a hit by pitch leading off for Saxony. Puts Jace Boland on. He's got good speed. And here on the turf,
batting second,
he can score if Hunter Hamilton can put one in the gap or down the line. 330 down both lines here at Capitol Field, and 400 dead center, 375 in the power alleys. A symmetrical field. And Hunter Hamilton will bat here. He was 1 for 1 in a pinch hit appearance, scored a run, got an RBI and a stolen base. Jace Boland pretty far off of first, and the throw down, but not in time to get him. Pitch was out of the zone to Hunter Hamilton. Ball 1. Now the center fielder Curtis plays him extremely to pull into the right field gap. So there's a huge gap in left center field. And Hamilton cuts one back. Fouls it off, makes it 1-1. Hamilton 4 of 10 on the year to bat 400, and that's almost tops on the team. You got a guy like Mason Mayhew who's 3 of 6 batting 500, but the first couple of weeks of the season averages are going to bounce up and down a little bit until guys get a lot of at-bats under their belts. Check on Boland at first. He's back in. And Loomis fumbled the ball back to him. Jace Boland takes second base. The throw from Anschultz back to Loomis got away from him on the mound, and it allows Boland to take second base. So an error there. Not sure who you would charge that to, but regardless, it is an error on somebody, and it gives Jace Boland a free bag. Now he's in scoring position for Hamilton. Pitch inside and low, and Hamilton makes it 2-1. Hamilton has 5 RBIs. That leads the team. 2 doubles. And he hits one high and deep to center field. Getting underneath of it is Caden Curtis. And Boland acted like he may tag and take third, but he stands right there on second base. So flying out is Hamilton for the first in the inning. And I said high and deep. It hit right to where Curtis was standing, so it wasn't like it was out there like 375 deep or anything like that. Just right there at an average distance The big field here at Capitol Hall takes a little bit of getting used to, even for us broadcasters. Now it's Zach Lewis standing in.
There you go.
He takes, low away, ball one. Lewis, the center fielder. So far this season, 4 of 11, batting .364. He's got 3 runs scored, 1 RBI, 2 doubles himself. Has struck out and has walked 4 times apiece. Bolin being held on by the shortstop Bryson Maddox. Pitch misses just outside, ball 2 to Zach Lewis. Lewis had 2 hits in the game against East Prairie, the only Crusader to have multiple hits. Had a double and an RBI single in his time at the bat. Second team all-district last year, batted .241, led the team with 19 RBIs. And he's going to be a big piece for this Crusader baseball team.
Yeah, it was 2-1.
My bad. Because I thought he looked like this.
Count is 2-1. Ball outside makes it 3-1. Still just 1 out here in the first inning. We are scoreless. Saxony Lutheran gave up a leadoff single, but the runner Newell was erased, and then it was a walk and a fielder's choice ground out. And Zach Lewis is hit by the pitch. That makes the second hit by pitch here in this inning. For Dawson Loomis, and it puts 2 men on.
Batting cleanup and catching
Jacob
number
Johnson
9,
will now bat.
Jacob Johnson.
Jacob Johnson standing in. He was 1 for 4 with an RBI. He did strike out twice against East Prairie. He's 3 of 11 on the season, tied for the team lead with RBIs of 5. And with just 1 out, he's got a chance here to put Saxony on the board early. Ball 1, outside and low. So Loomis on the mound here is missing low a lot and away from the right-handed batters. But then at that same token, he's hit 2 right-handed batters. So he's struggling to find control a little bit here. Misses away 1 more time. Ball got away from the catcher Newell, but nobody is able to advance on that one. Makes it 2-0 for Jacob Johnson. Catching today for the Crusaders. He might be the most versatile guy on this team. We've seen him play right field. We've seen him catch. We've seen him pitch. He has played first base and second base. So he can, quite literally, do it all. 3-0 count on him now, the utility man. Came in relief of Drew Haas down at East Prairie, got the save. There were 2 men on base. He got a strikeout and a ground out to end the game. Strike 1 called to Johnson that time on the 3-0 count. He stands all the way back in the right-hand batter's box and awaits the pitch. Takes strike 2. Make it a full count now. So Loomis was behind 3-0. Now Johnson has taken 2 strikes and he fills it up, I guess I'll say, at 3-2. Here comes the pitch. It's over and it is fouled down the third base line into the Saxony Lutheran dugout. And the bullpen down the line. So it makes it 3-2 still with 1 out. Double play would end the inning here. Bell City looking for that. Middle infielders cheat up the center.
The oldest David.
Pitch comes, and it's a grounder in the 5-6 hole for Jacob Johnson. That's going to score. Jace Bolden from second base, a long high throw, and Zach Lewis comes in under a tag at third to take third base. So Jacob Johnson, RBI single, scores Jace Bolden from second, and then on the throw home, Zach Lewis goes first to third, and Jacob Johnson follows behind
Wilson
to second base. Now it's Wilson Lodge to bat. With men on second and third.
That's wrong. It went for Bell City. That's wrong.
With just 1 out.
Clear runs. Is there clear runs?
Standing in is Wilson Lodge. On the mound today is Wilson.
I need help.
And he's looking to help himself here. A base hit would probably score 2. Johnson, pretty good speed back there at second base. Especially if he gets one down the lines or in the gaps here.
Did we get a ball there, Brandon?
Was hit by a pitch twice against Fredericktown. He's been hit 3 times already this season, has Wilson.
I think it's 2-0.
Batting .222 with a double, 2 walks, 4 runs scored, and 2 RBIs here early in the season. Good cut on that one, but could not catch up with it. Makes it 2-1 on Lodge.
Yeah, he just said 2-0.
Loomis on the mound, looking to get out of this jam. Just one out so far. Misses away, ball 3. In a game against St. Pius, Wilson Lodge was 2 for 3 with a double and 2 runs scored. He was hitless in 3 at-bats against East Prairie. On deck is Colin Terry. And barring a line out or a pop out in a double play, there's a grounder to the shortstop. It's fumbled. Zach Lewis is going to score, and Wilson Lodge is on with an error by the shortstop. So Zach Lewis comes in to score. And we've got courtesy runner Carson Burke in place of Wilson Lodge on first base. So Jacob Johnson is still at second. He was frozen there by the grounder to the shortstop.
Batting 6 and playing shortstop.
Colin
Number
Terry will
41, Colin Terry.
Batting .250 this season. 5 runs scored is most on the team. And a big cut on that one, fouls it back. Strike number 1. Terry, another guy that struggled against East Prairie's Peyton Hodges. He was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in that game. Hodges, though, probably the best pitcher Saxony has faced so far this season. 0-1 count, 1 out, men on first and second, bottom of the first, ball away. Makes it 1-1 on Colin Terry. Boy, by the scoreboard, Bell City 10 runs. I know that's not right. They're working on that over there. But Saxony Lutheran does have 2 here in the bottom half of this first inning. Pitch comes home. Loomis gets the call, strike 2. Right over that outside corner. Nice pitch there by Loomis. From the stretch, Loomis brings it home. Nice curveball, and he punches out Colin Terry for the second out of the inning. Now it'll be Drew Haas.
Batting 7.
Got the win on the mound.
Base.
Down at
Number
East
3,
Prairie, 6
Drew
and a third
Haas.
innings pitched with 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, just 4 hits scattered, and 2 runs. 0 of those were earned in his first ever varsity start. Now at the plate, he's batting .200 so far this season. It's early. He's 2 for 10 at the plate with 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs. And with 2 outs, a base hit would keep the first inning rally going for the Crusaders. And the count 1-1, we believe, on Drew Haas at the plate. Lead man is Jacob Johnson at second. Curveball called. Strike 2.
Now, did he call it a ball or a shot?
Oh, how do you do that?
Wind picks up just a bit blowing in from left center.
Thank you very much.
And the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, misses inside, ball 2. Blake Gabler, who started the season 3 for 7 with 4 RBIs, is on deck. This guy you want to get to the plate with men on base. He just has a way of knocking them in early in the year. He's just a sophomore. And Haas stays alive, fighting off a breaking pitch, fouls it off. Over on the hill behind the first base dugout. Still 2-2 count on Haas.
I don't know how.
And Loomis will bring it home. 2 outs. Another one hacked at and fouled out play. Still 2-2. The game this evening brought to you by PJR and Associates, along with Counters, etc., among others. We'll talk about this evening. The 2-2 pitch is incoming momentarily to Drew Haas. With 2 men on and 2 outs, bottom of the first. Ooh, Haas thought about reaching for that one. It was way out of the zone. A good hold there makes it 3-2. Our game also brought to you by Jackson Muffler, giving you friendly service since 1987. Travis works on classic cars to the modern ones, complete exhaust systems to minor repairs, welding services for other projects too. It's Jackson Muffler on Hope Street in Jackson. Picking them up as a sponsor of Saxony Baseball. We appreciate that greatly. Ooh, just outside, ball 4. Drew Haas takes a walk. And it will load them up indeed for Blake Gabler. And I mentioned already 4
Playing
RBIs
right field and wearing
for
number
the
11,
sophomore.
Blake Gabler.
2 runs scored. He's got a double. He hit that off the wall in Fredericktown out in left field. And he's got a good chance here to help the Crusaders to an early big lead. Takes high ball one. Got to force out anywhere for the Bell City defense here. Infielders in this situation, they got to knock it down, just keep it in front, try to get it out at a base. There's one hit into the left center field gap a long ways. Diving catch not made by the center fielder Curtis. And that one goes near the wall. How about Blake Gabler's going for 3? He might have, and he does. A bases clearing triple for the sophomore and 3 RBIs. This kid, welcome to the show. What a way to start your varsity career. Early in the season, Blake Gabler, he's got a 3 RBI triple here at Capitol Field.
Batting ninth,
All
number
the way
15,
around was
playing first
Johnson
base, Aaron
and
Eubanks.
Hines, along with Lodge's position. That was Berkwood scored the run for Lodge there. And just like that, Saxony Lutheran on top, 5-0, thanks to the triple here by Blake Gabler. Now it's Aaron Eubanks. Old Jackie Chan stands in. He's already ahead 1-0.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Time called at the plate to reset and do it again. 2 outs here to man on third. Blake Gabler busts the game wide open with a bases clearing triple with 2 outs against Loomis. Loomis misses high ball 2 to Eubanks, who so far this season, Eubanks looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Struck out once against Fredericktown. Golfs at this one, hits it high. Will it carry out of play? First baseman and Schultz over to try and get there. Oh, it's just over the fence and bounces out of play. He gave it a good look and got there, but it was just over the fence and into the little party area by the bullpen here at Kappa Hall. It's also dead this evening with the cold temperatures.
Oh, did you? Try something different.
2-1 count now for Eubanks.
Tom for Tom.
He is 1 1/3 innings pitched. Relieved Terry on the mound against St. Pius. Walked 2, gave up a hit, but got out of it without allowing a run. Third baseman last year in spot positions. He has started a couple games at first now this season. And relief on the mound too, so he can do a little bit of everything. It's 2-2 on it. Loomis going to bring it home with Gabler at third. The pitch to Eubanks, breaking pitch, swung on and missed. Eubanks strikes out, but Saxony puts a 5 spot on the board here in the first as everybody comes to the plate before Eubanks strikes out to end the inning. It'll be Bell City now, and they've got some work to do against Wilson Lodge. It'll be Dawson Loomis, then Baylor F-Tank, then Chase Schaefer after this on Pure Country C106.
Set a golf club that had Arena Park over Campbell Place. I walked here, I was gonna buy whatever. I didn't care. I was gonna buy a good set of stuff. He called me $10. They were like for the DCI or DCI titles, they were good clubs. They really were. Are you serious? Pastor Holman's looking for some new clubs. You know, tell him about that. He would probably. Oh yeah, maybe so. Right now, what I'm saying is that he was looking around. I didn't realize that's very expensive now. I said, oh yeah. Don't you think all the places who types and not maybe all the name brand types are very competitive? Don't think they are. Are they really not? Huh? Okay. I mean, that's what he said. Well, he would be.
They couldn't get rid of him, so they put him on some, gave him a new name.
Oh, gotcha. It's amazing how years ago they would have changed types of clubs for 3 or 4 years, and now it's every year. And now they went from what did it hit now? It's carbon now.
Bags hits for the Cubs, wearing number 12, pitcher Dawson Loomis.
Guy up there, Chester, told me one time, he said, there's one more boy off course there, he said, you buy a new driver every year, and they just wait for him to get bad, and then like that driver, he'd buy it, he said, we wouldn't hit it.
Top of the second inning, and leading off for Bell City is Dawson Loomis. Wilson Lodge on the mound, and he fires one directly over the top of us, and out of play, makes it 1-1. Lodge working against Loomis here. Loomis on the mound for Bell City, and he gave up those 5 runs here in the first. Now he's going to try to get some of those back with his bat. He started off here as he takes ball 2 from Lodge. Play Loomis straight up around the horn, infield and out. Zach Lewis, a lot of room to cover out there in center field. 400 to straightaway, 375 in the gaps. Lodge brings home the next pitch. Called strike 2. Makes it 2-2. Our game this evening brought to you by Cape Glass and Tinting with rock chip repairs, broken glass, cracked windshields, anything that needs replaced. If it's glass on a vehicle, take it to Cape Tint and Glass. 1420 Independence in Cape Girardeau, right off of West End. And work with your insurance too at Cape Glass and Tinting. Ball inside to Loomis. Now the count is full. Lodge trying not to put him on here to lead off the inning. But he bounces one in, makes it a walk. And the leadoff man on again for Bell City. Last time it was squandered as Newell was picked off.
Playing second base, number 8, Baylor F-Team.
And with 5 runs to make up here, Bell City needs every base runner, so they can't afford to have guys picked off. Foul ball comes back into the Jacob Johnson, so a bit delayed as Baylor F-Tank steps into bat. Second baseman here for the Cubs. And he wears number 8. Open batting stance from the right side. Lodge out of the stretch. Checks on the man behind him. The kick, the pitch, fouled. And looks like Aaron Eubank's going to try to get there and ran out of room against the fence. Another one in that same area that we saw Enschultz try to chase one down against. This one stayed in the park, but Eubank's unable to get there in time, make the play. He was coming up on the fence, though, so we had to be careful there. And it'll be a strike to F-T on the foul ball.
Last year we played 3 games here.
0-1
First by the tournament.
is the count. Live shakes off a couple of pitches from Jacob Johnson's signage, and time is called by the base umpire. No, we've got a balk called against Wilson Lodge. So Loomis down to second on the balk. Gives Bell City a free bag here. Didn't see Lodge move that time, but the base umpire down there made the call, and down to second goes the runner Loomis after the walk. Lodge comes back, hits one over the plate for strike number 2. Chase Schaefer waits on deck. If anything happens, Luke Daniels gets up to bat. Hayden Curtis following him. Bell City at 2-2. They're looking for their 3rd win of the year. Last season they finished 1 game above 500 at 11-10. Lodge spins around on the rubber there and does not throw down to second. Just a check letting Loomis know that Lodge is thinking about him there, so he can't get too big of a lead. Lodge brings this pitch home. It's a high bouncer over the top of Lodge. Terry comes and makes the play in front of second base, fires to first and out. Boy, Lodge jumped at that one on the mound, but he couldn't reach it with the high hop on the rubber turf infield. And Colin Terry charged it and got F-Tank out.
Batting 7 for the Cubs.
Over
Playing
at
left field,
first.
number 10, Chase.
So Chase Schaefer will bat. Loomis was held right there at second base.
Big plays.
One of those plays that he couldn't take too big of a lead because Terry could have turned around and tagged him if he wanted to, if he had gotten off the bag. So ball gets away from Johnson. Now Loomis will take third without a play. On the passed ball, Loomis is now down to third. Pitch was called a ball low, so that makes it 1-0 on Chase Schaefer, the left fielder. Lodge now has a man over at third base he has to reckon with. But the Crusaders with a 5-0 lead. Even if a ground ball up the middle doesn't get through, but the play made over at first, they'll probably give up a run here if the case will be. One of the corners they may see what the runner does and try to fire home, get him in a rundown possibly, but probably the best play here is just get the out at first and reset and move next with a 5-1 lead. So ball inside that time. Chase Schaefer gets out of the way of that one, makes it 3-0. Still just one out here. at Kappa Hall Field. We're in the top of the second inning.
I'm not watching that.
Crusaders and Cubs. Saxony Lutheran and Bell City. It's a 4-pitch walk, puts another man on. So Lodge now has walked 3 men here and given up a single.
Batting eighth and playing right
And now it'll
field,
be
number
Luke
7,
Daniels.
Luke Daniels.
The right fielder for Bell City. And Jacob Johnson calls out the first and third signage for the infielder here. Terry and Boland to play up the middle, looking for the double play ball, straight up on the corners. Aaron Eubanks will hold the man on at first. And with 1 out, the pitch comes home. Late swing there by Daniels. Came up empty, 0-1. Our game today also brought to you by Code Toyota on Seamers Drive in Cape Girardeau, ready to help you out and get you in a new Toyota despite the current situation. They are able to get their hands on plenty of new models. There's one bouncing foul just outside of the batter's box for Daniels, so it makes it 0-2 on him. And he'll retreat back to the batter's box. And Seamers Drive in Cape Girardeau, that's where you'll find Code Toyota. Find them online, codetoyota.com. Top-notch service and maintenance, brand new Toyota models on the lot at Code Toyota on Seamers Drive in Cape Girardeau. Thank them for sponsoring Saxony baseball this year. Here's the pitch home from Lodge. Missed it low and away, ball 1. Good spot there, though, trying to get Daniels to chase on the 0-2 pitch. Daniels, good eye, let her fly, and we'll live to see the next pitch. The 1-2. Called strike 3. And down on strikes is Luke Daniels. So now to be Caden Curtis, the center fielder,
Batting ninth and
with
playing
man on
center
first
field,
and third with 2
number
outs.
11, Caden Curtis.
This Bell City team, as I mentioned earlier, they won 3 straight state championships, 2015, 16, and 17. They won 25, 24, and 21 games in those seasons. Of course, they've fallen on a little bit of hard times since then. It wasn't long ago Justin Simpfer had a really, really good club there at Bell City. I mean, you don't see a lot of baseball teams win 25 games just because so few of them even get that many in because of rainfall and such, but when you go far in the state playoffs, why, you get up to that number of games, and they had a really good couple of seasons there in a row. Swinging, foul tipping it, and catching the ball was Johnson, so Curtis is also down on strikes, and Lodge gets out of the inning, stranding the runners on first and second. We move to the bottom of the second inning. Saxony Lutheran will be back at the top of their order with Jace Boland, then Hunter Hamilton, then Zach Lewis. After this, Saxony leads at 5-0 on Pure Country, C106.
They're gonna figure it out by the time the
Nate, by the time the game's over, I have it figured out, that's for sure.
and then you wanna do it again for about 6 weeks, and then you got everything.
Yeah. You betcha.
Yeah, they went to the tournament and got beat down in Atlanta.
That's right.
And they're better this year than they were last year.
Always want to come to the game, but it's you're going over this all the time.
I know.
3 or 4 times a week, you know, so it's going, yeah.
Babe Jason.
Maybe Jason. That looks not better if it's business.
Batting leadoff for the Crusaders, wearing number 18, second baseman, Jace Boland.
See, I wouldn't tell him in front of his dad, but I'd say he sounds just like his dad.
Because I sit down here. Y'all can tell them I hope your mic's on.
Hey, Dad.
And I sound better than my dad because of it.
That's great.
I was in somebody.
Something so fast, you'll free.
Hey, there's
Leading off the second inning is Jace Boland. He fires one out into left center field, and cheating over that way was Caden Curtis. He lets it bounce in front of him. That could have been a double if he was playing straight up. So They're playing in center field. Curtis is playing
Batting
every
in the
batter to
two-hole,
pull.
Playing left field, number 16.
Bolin gets
Hunter
the
Hamilton.
single that time, so he breaks a little bit of a slump. He was hit by a pitch and scored back in the first, and he struggled against East Prairie. That was Jace Bolin, 0 for 4 in the game on Tuesday. But Bolin on with a single here leading off. Now Hunter Hamilton will bat. He flied out to center field in his first at bat back in the first. And once again, Curtis shades him into the right center field side of straight up. They check on Bolin. A good little pickoff move there by Loomis, but not in time to get Bolin. So, looks like as long as Curtis is out there in center field, the opposite center field gap is going to be open. Pitch up and away. Ball number 1 to Hamilton. And it's a deep left field that is for Chase Schaefer, too. Runner goes. That's Bolin. He's going to be down and slides in head first on the turf. So he takes second on a stolen base.
No. He called a strike.
And it'll be Dawson Loomis now. 1-1 count to Hamilton with a man in scoring position. They hold Bolin on at short, and Hamilton tries to go the other way, but gets under it. Long run for Chase Schaefer. Not going to get there in time. That's going to drop in for a single, and Hunter Hamilton is halfway between second and first base. He retreats back to first, however. So Bolin takes third. Hamilton on with a single here. Well, he hit that one a mile high down the left field line, but the way that Schaefer was playing so deep, he had a long ways to run and couldn't get there in time. So it's first and third, nobody
Batting
out for the
third, wearing number
Crusaders.
44 and playing center field.
Already a 5-0
Zach
lead.
Lewis.
And now Zach Lewis. Lewis last season in a game here at Capitol Hall had an inside the park home run. Hit one into the gap. I don't remember which left or right center field it was, but it got all the way to the wall, and he trucked his way around. Runner goes, that's Hamilton, and there's a shot into center field. It's caught on a dive. Hamilton's got to get back to first. Throw comes into the pitcher, firing over to first, and then it's to the wall. Hamilton getting a workout. Now he'll go down to second. Bolin will score. Boy, nice diving play there by the second baseman, Baylor Eftink, in shallow center field for the out of Zach Lewis.
Batting cleanup.
That was out number
catching
1.
number
Hunter
9.
Hamilton had taken off on the pitch, so he had to go back after the diving grab. And if Eftink gets up and throws to first base, Hamilton's out by a mile. But he gets in, throws it to the pitcher, Loomis, who then has to hurry and throw it to Anschultz at first. Throw got away from Anschultz. Hamilton gets up and runs. So Hamilton ran, what would, 90 feet be times 3? 270 feet on that play. Down to second, back to first, and then back to second. Ball gets away. Hamilton advances another 90 feet, sliding into third base.
The center fielder or second baseman threw to the pitcher.
One-on-one is
So Hamilton on third. Saxony already a 6-0 lead here in the second. Looks like the pitch comes to Johnson, swung on and missed for strike number 2 to Jacob Johnson, who, as I was explaining all of that play, the count had gotten to 1-1 on him in the box. Now it is 1-2. He's got an RBI single already today, scored a run in the first. And he's behind the plate for the Crusaders this evening. Pitch comes, nice breaking ball, but it was upstairs of the zone. Makes it 2-2. Our game today brought to you by Ken's Ace Hardware on East Main Street in Jackson, your grilling headquarters. Hey, free delivery and assembly on grill purchases of $3.99 and above at Ken's Ace Hardware. We'll be out there broadcasting live April the 22nd. That pitch misses away, fills the count 3-2. They're going to have kind of a grand reopening. They've remodeled the store there at Ken's Ace Hardware. They've just remodeled, so check them out, and we'll be out there on the 22nd of April. Full count pitch. Call the ball 4, down to first goes Jacob Johnson, makes it first and third. And Coach Simfer will come out and have a chat with Dawson Loomis, who's already been chatting a bit back and forth with the home plate umpire. And looks like we're going to have a change here. So Loomis will be pulled here in the second inning, as Bell City already has had 2 games this week. This is their 3rd. They have another one on the schedule tomorrow, so they've got to manage their arms as well with the pitch count and things. We will take a 60-second break and be right back for this pitching change. Loomis started the game but gave up 6 runs early. After 60 seconds, we'll be back, and it looks like it will be Bryson Maddox on the mound for Bell City. After this, on Pure Country, C106.
Then you go through another 5 minutes before when you change the password to the
So
same
pitcher and catcher are just swapping, aren't they?
I wasn't paying attention. Amy, you noticed that?
Yeah, 12 to
No,
12 to
the
shortstop.
5 was the catcher all along. Shortstop.
Shortstop and pitcher just switch positions. So batting order doesn't change, position just changes.
Yeah, you play so many games a week. You got so many pitchers you can throw, so you just got sometimes you throw arms, just have to throw, somebody throw. His son threw a great game. He threw a good game. I mean, I'll be serious with you.
The story behind that is that their pitcher, his grandpa was my dad's best man.
Are you serious?
So
New pitcher for Bell City here with 1 out in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Bryson Maddox takes over. He was at shortstop. He trades with Dawson Loomis. So it'll be Loomis now at shortstop and Maddox on the mound. Easton Newell still behind the plate, and everybody else stays where they were for Bell City. He finishes his warm-ups, and I will tell you that Saxony Western Baseball this season brought to you by Tim Koenig at Orangeburg Farmers Mutual Insurance. He serves all surrounding communities and counties where you get hometown service and great coverage for your home or your farm. Call today 547-7294 for Tim Koenig, your Orangeburg Farmers Mutual Insurance agent. And he was the PA man for Saxony Lutheran Baseball last year, so it was good to get to know him a little bit and throw around words that he liked to use, like soccer pitch and things like that. I don't know if he's listening this evening, but if he is, he'll enjoy that. Our game today also brought to you by First State Community Bank. With locations all over the region, they're proud to support all local
wearing number
schools and
4,
athletes.
Wilson
That is
Lodge.
First State Community Bank. Now batting is Wilson Lodge, with man on first and third for the Crusaders here. 1 out in the 2nd. Double play will get Bell City out of this, but the shortstop comes in a little bit. Down to 2nd goes Jacob Johnson, and just like that, the double play is out of commission. So it gives Lodge a couple of RBI opportunities out there at 2nd and 3rd. With 1 out here, he could blow this game open and put himself in good position for a win. He fouls one up, and that's going to get out of play over the top of the Bell City dugout, first base line. Hit the foul pole, as a matter of fact. You don't see that very often. And the count will be 0-2 to Wilson Lodge. Reached on an error and scored a run back in the 1st. So far this season, Wilson is batting .222 coming into the evening, 2 of 9 with 4 runs scored. He does have a double. Missed it, low and away. Did Maddox that time, so it's 1-2. Bell City team, back whenever they were making those state championship runs, 2015, 16, and 17, they were led by a guy on the mound by the name of Austin Hicks. How about this? Hicks won 32 games on the mound in his career, 4th most all time, according to Missouri State High School Activities Association. And that was with pitch counts and all that stuff and rest days and everything like that. Lodge gets hit by the pitch for the 4th time this season. Lodge is hit by a pitch. And Colin Terry to the bat with the bases loaded. Wilson Lodge 4 times
Batting
has been
6th
hit.
Crusaders and playing shortstop number 41, Colin Terry.
And as I said, Colin Terry now bats. He struck out looking last time. This will be a good slump breaker for Terry. Has struck out 4 times in the last 2 games. Carson Burke, the courtesy runner for the pitcher, Lodge. So the lead man is Hamilton at 3rd. He is followed by Jacob Johnson, and then over at first it's Carson Burke, infield in, all around here for Coach Simfer and the Cubs. Pitch comes in. It's a grounder to the third baseman. There's going to be a play at the plate, and out is Hamilton. So you bring the infield in, and Coach Simfer likes that nice play by Steubenrad down at third. Made the play, knew he had time, brought it home, and Colin Terry's
Batting seventh
down
for
at
the
first
Crusaders,
base now,
playing
but
third base and wearing number 3,
it was an
Drew
out,
Hawes.
as Hunter Hamilton was fielder's choice out. And batting now is Drew Hawes. Gives one a ride down the left field line. That's a fair ball, and it one hops the wall 330 feet away. That's going to be a 2 RBI double for Drew Hawes. Big time hit for Drew Hawes. And he's on for the second time today. Boy, he squared that one up. That was a bomb out to the left field corner. And give him 2 RBIs.
Batting eighth, playing right field and wearing number 11,
Colin
Blake
Terry around to
Gabler.
third. Scoring was Jacob Johnson and Carson Burke.
They had like a long way.
And all of a sudden, it's 8-0 with 2 outs. And Blake Gabler, who's already got a 3 RBI triple today, hit that one into the left center field gap. And extremely deep out there is Caden Curtis in center and Chase Schaefer in left. Boy, Saxony really hitting a couple of balls hard today. Maddox brings this one home and misses 1-0 to Blake Gabler, the right fielder. Tell you what, he keeps hitting the ball hard. He's going to keep that spot out there in right field for Coach Sander. He's ahead 1-0 here with 2 outs. Time call. And Newell will walk out to chat with Maddox on the mound. Yeah, Gabler, let's talk about this young man. We hadn't seen him in varsity action last year as a freshman, but as a sophomore, he gets a start in Game 2 of the doubleheader at Fredericktown. What's he do up there? He hits one off the wall in left field for a double. And since then, he's done nothing but put the ball in play. 3 for 7, 4 RBIs, 2 runs scored. He has that double, has only struck out once, and that's a big number for a guy jumping up to the varsity level and pitching you see. You can keep putting the ball in play, you'll get hits eventually, but if you get up there and strike out a lot, that's not great. So he's able to put the ball in play, and that's step one, being a successful hitter, is being able to see the ball and put it in play. That's what Gabler's been doing, just 1 strikeout so far. He's walked twice. 1-1 pitch to Gabler. Catches the inside corner, strike 2. Nice pitch there by Bryson Maddox. Saxony has Bloomfield tomorrow if they're able to play, and then next week, Wednesday at Risco, and Friday home against Kelly. So just 2 games on the schedule next week, unless there's a makeup game and a rain-out date on that week that I haven't added to my schedule yet. Gabler strikes out swinging, so just as I was talking about how he hasn't striked out a lot, he does go down swinging that time. But the Crusaders push 3 more across, and now lead at 8-0 heading to the top of the third. Bell City will bat at the top of their order. Easton Newell, Bryson Maddox, then Aiden Anschultz after this on Pure Country, C106.
I love it. For $2.5 million, come on. You know, he actually hit against left-handed hitters. Left-handed pitchers are pretty good. Yeah, he said it had the highest OPS than any right-handed hitter in baseball did last year. Against left-handed hitters. Even a little bit better than Arenado, so there you go. You know, they use him as a DH and, you know, pinch hit.
His personality in the dugout's going to be huge.
Amen.
Well, the Dodgers, that's what the Dodgers coach said, it was the best thing about Albert is what he did for the whole.
Oh yeah, he said he was one of the best clubhouse guys. And you know what? Some of these people are so mad when he left and all, and I just like, this is baseball.
Hey, I think he knew he wasn't going to be as good anymore and didn't want to stay in St. Louis.
You know? And you know what?
And
So,
somebody's going to pay him that kind of money to go somewhere else.
absolutely. And you know what I always say about him? That man, when he
I know what you're talking about.
when he wore a Cardinal uniform, he never embarrassed the team one time. Never. On or off the field. And he wanted to play hurt all the time. And Russo said he had to tell him, no, you're not playing. You know, Sunday. I mean, that's how
Thank you, sir. Jacob Johnson brings us back into the broadcast here in the top of the third inning. He's behind the plate today, and He's been doing a pretty good job all over the field defensively. Jacob Johnson, like I said earlier, a really versatile guy. We saw him all over, and he's made plays wherever he's been. Had a diving catch in the second base position a couple of games ago, and tell you what, he's a great job behind the plate too. Receiving Wilson Lodge this evening, who is still on the mound and has put up 2 zeros so far, but he'll be dealing with the top of the Bell City batting order, and Easton Newell will lead it off. He had a single back in the first to lead off the game. He was then picked off of first as Jacob Johnson threw behind him, one of those defensive plays that I've been telling you about. And the first one misses, ball one.
Are you serious?
To Easton Newell. Our game brought to you by the Terry Law Firm on your side, so you don't have to face the confusing legal system alone. Rip down the third baseline and foul out of the play by Newell makes it 1-1. The Terry Law Firm, personal injury, workman's comp. If you find yourself on the wrong end of a traffic ticket, call the Terry Law Firm, protecting you from the confusing legal system. TerryLawFirm.com is where you can learn more about them. We bring you Saxony baseball on C106. Next one from Lodge is low, and it gets away from Johnson. Make it 2-1 on Easton Newell. As is normal when we have games here at Kappa Hall Field, we have 8 cars lined up on the hill out above left center field. We say hello to those of you out there listening, and a little red car in the middle flashing their lights. Thank you. Just don't do that when the pitch is going on. You'll be interfering with the batters, and we appreciate that. Not happy. But hello to you out there at any rate. As Lodge now 2-2 on Easton Newell. Trying to get something started here in the third for Bell City. And here's the pitch, swung on in, missed in. Lodge delivers another strikeout. He's done very well so far on the mound. Usually not a big strikeout guy, but he has struck out the last 3 men he's faced. I guess the bottom 2 men in Bell City's order last inning, and now at the top, he gets another strikeout, so it's 3 straight for Lodge. Now he'll deal with Bryson Maddox, shortstop for the Cubs. That's where he started the game. Now he's on the mound for them. Ball in the dirt, ball one. In the turf, I guess I should say. As Kappa Hall Field, what's interesting about this field is, let's take yesterday, for example, as all that storms and an inch or two of rain moved through the area. As soon as the last drop fell, if we had waited 15 minutes, we could have played on this field yesterday evening. That's the kind of field that we've got here. There's a grounder. Long way to go for Jace Poland, and a sliding grab. He knocks it down, catches it, but not going to be able to make a play. It's an infield single for Maddox. He's on first base. Boy, Boland had a long ways to go for that one. Thought we was going to see a highlight reel sliding throw, but not the case that time. Maddox ran it out. But on this field, it's turf, of course, so there's no dirt, won't turn into mud. But underneath of this is a really, really swell draining system. And so it takes about 15 minutes after hard rain stops, and you can play ball at Kappa Hall. So it's a great asset here for only high school teams that their fields are too wet to play. I think it's like a $50 fee. You can play here at Kappa Hall. It's not much, so a lot of high school teams have been utilizing that ever since the turf was put in. Ball one to Anschultz, and a check on the runner, Maddox. He's in. So count's going to be 1-0 to Aiden Anschultz. He walked back in the first against Wilson Lodge. The man on first, 1 out. Bell City trying to do something here. Swing and miss by Anschultz makes it 1-1. Coach Simpfer, regardless of the level of talent that he's got, he's a fantastic baseball coach. And I'm allowed to say that because when he was my coach at Delta, my junior year we won 4 games. My senior year we won 2 games. And we were not good, folks. We were absolutely terrible. I'll say it. But Coach Simpfer is one of the best baseball coaches, baseball minds in Southeast Missouri. Had a ton of fun playing for him, even though we weren't very good. We got no hit, but they had built us a brand new baseball field right there at the new elementary school there at Delta. And this was in 2011. Swing and a miss by Anschultz makes it 1-2. First game on the brand new field, we hosted Oak Ridge. They had a kid by the name of Brett Thomas. You remember him? Went on to pitch at Jeffco after high school. He no-hit us, threw a perfect game against us. Simpfer made us run 20 poles after that because of how pitiful we played. And I still say to this day, I loved every minute of playing for Coach Simpfer. Didn't like him at that particular moment, but we deserved it. We stunk. Strikeout there. Lodge has 4 now on the game.
Logan Stubenrauch.
As we're starting to get some light rain beginning to fall here. Kappa Hall. That's just
They come up here and need it.
goes to show you, even if a team's not very good, it's not a recollection, it's not a reflection, I should say, on the coach. That's for sure. 0-1. Now the count to Stubenrauch, who grounded into a fielder's choice to end of the first inning. Plays third base. Had a good play last half inning against the Crusaders. And takes another one. Lodge deals the fastball low and away. Ball 1. Makes it 1-1 now to Logan Stubenrauch. 1-1 count to Stubenrauch. Lodge brings it home. Breaking pitch inside. Ball 2. Lodge working with his straight pitches a little bit more this year than we saw last year. I don't want to say he was one of those junk throwers last year, but he was a guy who really used his curveball, his breaking pitches, off-speed stuff. Now he works a few more fastballs in. Comes inside with the fastball and misses there, make it 3-1. With 2 outs and a man on first, runner is Maddox. Batter is Stubenrauch. Pitcher is Lodge. He brings it home, and it's a walk. Makes it 2 men on here with 2 outs. And batting is Dawson Loomis.
Playing shortstop, number 12, Dawson Loomis.
Loomis started the game on the mound, was then moved to shortstop as Maddox replaced him on the mound.
I was afraid that it was going to happen.
And with 2 men on, Bell City, their best opportunity here. Strike 1, right over Central. Low half of the zone. Good pitch there by Lodge. It's a tough ball to hit. Tough ball to square up, I'll say, when it's low in the zone like that. You can hit it. It's hard to really drive it unless you golf that thing. Then a lot of times you get under it. First and second runners. Pitch comes. It's low again. Missed the zone that time. Makes it 1-1. Now more than a drizzle. I'd call it a light mist or a heavy drizzle maybe out there as we play at Kappa Hall. As long as it doesn't come a hard rain, they'll continue to play in something like this. Like I said, they're going to muddy up the field, it being as it is turf. Here's one hit high, shallow right center field. Jace Boland backs up to make the catch in short right center field. So Jace Boland, another nice defensive play over there at second base. And the Crusaders lead Bell City with a 0 on the board. To the bottom of the 3rd inning we go, and it will be Saxony Lutheran leading off with Aaron Eubanks, then to the top, Jace Boland, Hunter Hamilton. After this, on Pure Country, C106, Saxony leads it 8-0.
Oops.
Every time I press something here, this morning,
So I went up there.
and so,
I said it up there.
Here's the catcher's Wi-Fi and pass.
Okay,
So it's either my Spectrum Wi-Fi 5G or 2G, and then
I'm going 2G.
okay, and the password is all lowercase proud turkey. Because that's what I am. Proud turkey.
I mean,
865. Proud turkey 865.
I'm glad we're up here now for sure. Look at it out there. Oh,
Did you close the windows over there?
I did, yeah.
I thought he fell over.
I didn't want my stuff to get
so
wet.
it's pretty cool to watch. And like, so Andrew King, when he's out on his track, he can't hear radio. So, like, sometimes he'll be like, can you make sure you connected? And then he watches that. They'll check it every now. He won't sit and watch it usually.
the boys went to the dugout. For some reason. Hopefully that's up short.
Look at it out there by the light.
No, the lights always
It
make
looks like it's so bad.
The lights always make it look a lot worse than what it is, but it's still not very nice. That's for sure. It's just a little, yeah, it's just a little spot. Yeah.
We move to the bottom of the 3rd inning and an increased drizzle mist out there. And like I said, we've got, A little bit of rainfall falling, but as I said, as long as it doesn't get silly with it out there, and I just looked at radar, looks like it's just a light rain. This is probably the heaviest little cell, and I wouldn't even call it rain or a cell. It's just kind of some light green on your radar. So we're back here for the bottom of the third inning, and still on the mound is Bryson Maddox for Bell City. Leading off will be Aaron Eubanks, first baseman. Struck out back in the first. Aaron Eubanks. Jackie Chan here for the Crusaders. Where's number 15? With an 8-0 lead, they put 5 on in the first, 3 more in the second. And now they'll try to tack on some more here. Get to 7 this inning, and the game would be over with the 15-run mercy rule after 3. We'll see. Bell City with Bryson Maddox on the mound. Pitches inside to Eubanks, ball 1. Our game this evening brought to you by Allison Sanders, Farmers Insurance Agent in Advance, helping customers identify the insurance coverage that best fits their needs with knowledge and expertise to help you understand your coverage options. Allison Sanders, your insurance agent in Advance. Maddox, the next one. 1-0 count to Eubanks, misses up and away, 2-0. And the wind has picked up with this little band of shower that's moving through. Coming in from left field now. The 2-0 pitch. Maddox to Eubanks. Called strike 1.
Now I'm doing ball 3.
Oh, that's like it was.
And let's see.
No, they didn't mess up.
Eubanks will bat here, followed by Jace Boland, and then Hunter Hamilton. Top of the order follows Eubanks. Ball high, makes it 3-1. Saxony Lutheran looking to see if they can somewhat repeat their season of last year and maybe get that district title. They have bumped down to Class 2 this season after being Class 3 for several years. Eubanks draws a walk. He's on with the leadoff spot here in this inning. 19-3 last year, fell in the Class 3 District 2 game. The final to Kelly, 4-2. That was a really, really good baseball game, though. Saxony didn't come out on top of that one, but man, that was a fun game to call. Kelly moved on into the state playoffs. They had some good wins last year against East Carter, 4-3. East Carter won 17 games last year. They beat Jefferson 5-1. Jefferson won 18 games last year. They knocked off Kelly in the regular season, 21-7 Kelly. Well, Saxony beat them 6-1. And they knocked off a 14-win Crystal City team, 1-0. Another fun game. That 1-0 game, man. Those low-scoring pitching duels, those are fun to call because every single play means something. And the count 2-0 on Jace Boland. As Maddox struggling to find the zone here. He walked Eubanks now behind 2-0. On the leadoff man, Jace Boland misses again. 3-0. Bell City, this is their third of 4 potential games this week, and you know, whenever you've only got 11 men on the roster, it's just really tough if you get in some of these games with the pitch count and the rest rules and all of that, which are good things, don't get me wrong. But, man, if you've only got so many guys that can pitch it, sometimes you're relegated to putting guys out there that just really aren't accustomed to pitching and throwing the ball over the plate and things like that. And I'm not speculating here. I'm just saying that might be what we're seeing here this evening.
Number 16, Hunter Hamilton.
Now Hunter Hamilton looks to do something here as another walk puts Boland on. He's on for the third time today. Singled and stole a base last time and was hit by a pitch in the first. Now Hamilton had the single. Last at bat in the second. Pitch comes to him. It's inside and low, ball 1. And the rainfall making its way through Cape. I can see clearer skies to the west behind it, so this little band moves through. It'll dry up on us quickly. And we can get this game in here at Capitol Hall Field. Next one, too. Hamilton ripped down the right field line, but foul. Out of play beyond the bullpen. Makes it 1-1. Left fielder today is Hunter Hamilton. Came off the bench against East Prairie and got a pinch hit RBI single late in the game. So, we didn't get the start. He was still productive. Our game this evening also brought to you by Brooker Auction Service. Check us out. We've got a couple of dandies this weekend. Full listings with pictures on auctionzip.com. We're at Jackson on Old Cape Road on Saturday. Hamilton pops one high, shallow center field. Long ways to go for Caden Curtis, and he camps out. No, he missed it. It goes through the air and bounces behind him. Looks like Eubanks is going to score. And going around is Jace Bolin. Hunter Hamilton cruises into third base on the error by the center fielder, Caden Curtis. So 2 runs score, and it makes it 10-0 for Saxony Lutheran on top of Bell City here. That one got up in the air, and Curtis was underneath of it, just didn't make the grab.
Number 44, Zach Lewis.
So it brings Zach Lewis to the plate. He was hit by a pitch, scored a run, also popped out to the second baseman in his 2 appearances thus far. And he bats here in the third. With a man on third base, that's Hamilton, nobody out. And Zach Lewis at the plate, working against Bryson Maddox. Brings it home. Big cut there, but Lewis comes up empty, 0-1.
Poor Steve. He didn't get to start all the time. Not playing much. He'd be shutting.
Think about Capitol. They're really improving this place since the Catfish came to town. They built that party deck out there in right field. That's a fun place to watch a game. And now, due to the demolition of Houck Stadium, they've got chairback seating underneath here in the grandstand, so to speak. They put chairbacks all underneath of there, so utilized a few of the old seats out of Houck and made it where it's a little bit more comfortable for SEMO fans and Cape Catfish fans to come watch a game here at Capitol. High school fans, too. 2-2 count now on Zach Lewis at the plate. About the Cape Catfish, Saxony Lutheran alumni Eli Brown going to pitch for them this summer, he tells me. Can't wait for that. He had a good start Saturday for Lindenwood. Lewis hits one into the center fielder's area once again. Boy, this one just right in between, and it eats up Curtis. This one gets by him, rolls all the way to the wall. Zach Lewis is going to come all the way around and score on another error by the center fielder. 2 more runs in for Saxony Lutheran, and for the second time in his career, Zach Lewis, an inside the park home run. I don't know if you give him the hit on that or if you give the error to the center fielder. Regardless, Lewis comes around to score. And just like that,
batting cleanup for the Crusaders.
It's
Catching number
12-0
9, Jacob Johnson.
for Saxony Lutheran. And now Jacob Johnson will bat. Single RBI and a walk. 2 runs scored already for Johnson. And Saxony Lutheran just outmatching Bell City in this one.
You ask Coach about it.
Yeah, well, I have to know now before I hit something.
Just give him a base hit.
2-2.
Base hit.
No, that's not right.
I can't do that.
Pitch comes home, and it is Jacob Johnson chopping one to the third baseman, Stubenrau. Tough play, throws over, and it's high. And Schultz can't reach it. It goes into the right field wall, and Jacob Johnson takes second base on the error.
Was it an error in the second?
What are you talking about for Zach? If he do it that way?
Oh my God, I gotta do this.
So a man is on second now with
Okay.
Batting 5th and pitching,
nobody
number
out
4,
in the inning.
Wilson Lodge.
Hamilton scored.
As I said, Saxony Lutheran just really, really outmatching Bell City here. And it's tough when you see something like this because, like I said, you get down in your pitching staff and you're a team that just doesn't have a lot of arms, and you want to get games in when you can. So Coach Simfer agrees to play this evening, even though his pitching staff a little bit depleted. He, before the game, said, let me go get my lineup. I got to go talk to my guys, see whose arm are feeling okay to throw tonight. So
All right, now where are we at?
that's just a little bit tough here for Bell City. They're struggling. As Lodge pops one up, we may get a doink at Capitol Field. I thought it was coming. Lodge pops that one up over the top of us, and it hits the roof here at Capitol. So Lodge now behind 0-1.
Error on the third baseman.
Just a second on the air.
4 runs here in this third inning by Saxony Lutheran so far. Gives them 12 in the game. They put 5 up in the first, 3 in the second, now 4 so far. And Lodge reaches for that one on the outside corner. Missed it. 0-2 on Lodge. Bryson Maddox trying to set him down here. Lodge reached on an error in the first, was hit by a pitch in the second, has scored runs both times. And the rain has subsided here at Capitol Field. So after that small little shower moved through, it's no longer falling. Lodge takes inside, ball 1. For the pitcher, Wilson Lodge. Maddox on the mound. They play Lodge straight up, save for the center fielder who plays every man to pull. Pitch comes home. Lodge way out in front of that one. Look out in the Saxony dugout. It hits the screen in front of him there. Gabler will retrieve that one, but man, he ripped that one over there towards his own men. 1-2, count to Lodge. Jacob Johnson out there at second base after the infield single, and he advanced on a throwing error. And working from the stretch is Maddox. They hold the man on at second. Middle infielders do. Lodge sets on one. It's a chopper to the shortstop position. Had a long ways to go and no play for Lodge as he was holding the lead runner, Jacob Johnson, on. He had a long ways to go to get that one, Dalton Loomis. And by the time he got there, it was a slow roller. Lodge was already closing in on first base, so no throw.
Batting sixth,
and it's an infield single for Lodge.
Number 41, Colin Terry.
Jacob Johnson advanced over to third. First and third here for Colin Terry. And a big gap in right center field. First and third, nobody out, Saxony Lutheran. I said if they put 7 on in this inning, it would end it, and they're on their way to that. The winning run, Colin Terry, is at the plate. We may get out of here in a hurry this evening. Bryson Maddox brings it home. Terry hits one hard to left field, looking to make the play, and catching it is Chase Schaefer. And the runners will hold. So Colin Terry flies out to left field for out number 1 of the inning. And it'll bring in Drew Haas, who last time had a 2 RBI double on a bullet. Pardon me, we have a pinch hitter, Nolan Hale.
Batting seventh, number 8, Nolan Hale.
After Drew Haas got the 2 RBI double back in the second, now we see a pinch hitter here for Coach Paul Sander, and it's Nolan Hale.
He's hitting from anyway for sure.
He was 1 for 2 this year. He has scored a run. This is his 3rd appearance of the season. He's appeared in 2 games so far. As I said, he's 1 for 2. It is Nolan Hale.
15 after 4 right now.
Got both of his at-bats against Fredericktown, scored a run, and got a base hit in that game. One of those games up there, I believe it was the second one that he came in. That was when Saxony had the big lead. Sander got some guys some at-bats. And they announce and tell the umpires so that everybody is
I just can't see all that.
on the same page. Umpire at home plate had to dig out his lineup card here. Coach Sanders going to give him the information that is needed.
Wipe the other one out if I can see through it.
As I said, Bell City's coach Justin Simfer, he was my high school baseball coach at Delta. And as I said earlier, we were not good. Although, against Saxony Lutheran my senior year, I was 3 for 4. Had a career day that day. And we pushed Saxony. We gave them all they wanted. We lost 7-6 at home. The game down at Delta. That was, I think, the second game of the year. That was after we ran the 20 poles for the Oak Ridge pummeling. So we had a little something to prove, I guess, and I took it out on the starting pitcher for Saxony Lutheran. I talked to Coach Sander about that. I don't remember who he said started that game for him. But at any rate, I ate them up. I was a problem from the 8 spot that day. They could not figure me out. Nolan Hale takes strike 1. We're back to the action here. The action that you care about. Not my glory day against Saxony Lutheran back in the spring of 2011. 0-1 count. Maddox working against Hale here with 1 out. Men on first and second. Hale waited for that one, offered at it, fouled it back. 0-2. So Maddox trying to get out of this inning. With 1 out here, he's 0-2 ahead of Hale. Bell City 2-2 so far this year. Saxony Lutheran 3-1. And looking to move to 4-1 are the Crusaders. Bell City Class 1 District 2 with Advance, Delta, Leopold, Oran, and Zalma in their district. A pitch comes in on the hands of Hale. He spins out of the way and pretty far off the bag. At first was Lodge. They throw down trying to pick him off, but no dice.
Yeah, so we'll leave the Wednesday before.
So it'll be 1-2 now on Hale. Batting in place of Drew Haas.
Oh, gosh.
Nolan Hale, sophomore. So he'll be around for a while here for Coach Paul Sander. They play him extremely deep in left and center, and he watches one up and away, ball 2. Right field plays at an average depth. That's Luke Daniels. Yeah, center field and left field, they give a lot of room for singles in front of them. Base hit would score Jacob Johnson from third. Next pitch comes home. It bounces. Nice grab there by the catcher, Easton Newell. Scooped it up as it bounced in. Full count now on Nolan Hale.
I didn't see that. I'll give you trouble.
Yours is cleared up now.
Full count with 1 out. In the bottom of the 3rd inning. Pitch comes home. Ball 4. Puts Nolan Hale on, and it'll bring in Carson Burke, batting in place of Blake Gabler. So Burke with a pinch hit spot here
Bases loaded.
for Gabler with the bases loaded.
Be aggressive, son.
Well, I tell you what, if it was Gabler here, you'd almost pencil the game over the way that kid's been hitting the ball. But Burke's going to get an opportunity here, looking for his first base hit of the year. 0 for 8 so far. Has scored 2 runs, 2 walks, and has struck out twice. He's played behind the plate in every game so far. He gets a day off today behind the plate as Johnson catches instead.
But you just hit a hit. We got it.
And Bryson Maddox will
Batting 8th.
try to get the double play ball here. He's going to look for a ground ball. In order to entice a ground ball, pitchers try to keep it low in the zone. Hard for guys to get under it and drive it here. So if Maddox can do that, maybe Bell City gets the double play ball. They bring the infield in, however. So that's what Coach Simfer wants to do here from the stretch. Maddox brings it home with the kick. Here it is, upstairs, ball 1. Game today brought to you by PJR and Associates, along with Counters, etc. Also Jackson Muffler and Code Toyota on Seamers Drive in Cape, as well as Cape Glass and Tinting, Independence Street here in Cape Girardeau. 1-0 pitch. High again, ball 2 to Carson Burke. Loomis at short and Baylor Iftink at second base. Play in on the line of green and brown, or typically it would be the dirt starting on a regular infield. So they are playing way up here. Is now 3-0 count to Carson Burke. If he can drive one here, there's a huge, huge gap in right center field. Take strike 1.
Come on, let's go.
Right fielder Luke Daniels even plays over towards right center a little bit, so the right field line is open. Center fielder, though, Curtis, again, playing everybody to pull. And he's not just playing them a few steps to pull. He's over almost in left center field. So that's what Coach Simfer wants. Big cut there by Burke. Couldn't catch up to it. Makes it 3-2.
See it, son. See it, son.
And Burke will stand in with an open batting stance. He wags the bat over the plate all the way back on the right-hand batter's box back line. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and striking out is Carson Burke for the out number 2 of this inning.
This is Lucas Kinder, right? 25?
Yes.
Yes.
So now we go
Batting
to
9th for the Crusaders and pinch hitting number 25.
pinch hitter Lucas Koenig.
Come on, Luke.
Lucas Koenig bats in spot for Aaron Eubanks. Saxony Lutheran has batted around this inning. And Coach Paul Sanders working in some of his substitutions, getting them at-bats here. Stepping off a moment is Bryson Maddox. And with 2 outs in the inning, Lucas Koenig will bat with the bases loaded. Koenig so far 0 for 1, put the ball in play in a pinch hit appearance against Fredericktown. Watches one up and away, ball 1. With a 12-0 lead, Saxony Lutheran trying to get out of this one in short game style against Bell City. Pitch comes home, inside, and jumping out of the way of it is Lucas Koenig.
Hurt tonight, it's cold.
So he will await the 2-0 pitch here coming from Bryson Maddox, Bell City Cubs. Pitch comes home from the stretch, upstairs and inside, ball 3. Say what you want about the Cubs and their baseball team. I'll say what I want about their logo. It's the best logo in Southeast Missouri. If you get to see these caps up close, it's a nice little cub bear. I just like the logo. I don't know. And it's a little bit unique. You don't see a lot of Cubs outside of Chicago, so to speak, especially not at the high school mascot level. I mean, you see a lot of tigers, a lot of wildcats, a lot of eagles and things like that, but not a lot of cubs. As a 4-pitch walk is drawn by Lucas Koenig, he's on first. A run comes around to score. That's Johnson. And Lodge ahead to third. Up to second is Nolan Hale. And give Lucas Koenig an RBI with the walk. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here for Bell City. And to the mound comes Logan Stubenrau. He's going to take over in place of Easton Newell. So 60 seconds later, we'll be right back. After the pitching change, Logan Stubenrau to the mound for Bell City. After this on Pure Country, C106.
Okay, so who went where?
16 went to the mound.
Yeah, I got that.
And that
Two
bring
went
down
to
third
third
base.
base.
Who went to third base too?
I think so.
I can't really tell. Yep, he's over there. And that should be good. They just split lots of spots.
And when Mrs. still saying at shortstop. Okay.
How many outs does you guys have?
2.
Another pinch hitter.
Back into the bottom of the third inning and taking over on the mound for Bell City is Logan Stubenrau. Bryson Maddox goes over to third base to replace him, so they trade positions. And batting will be for Saxony Lutheran, Owen Johnson. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far this season. And OJ steps into bat in place of Jace Bolin at the top of the order.
Owen Johnson.
Well, they shout words of encouragement out there for Owen Johnson. Team favorite, it sounds like. Bases loaded for him. Chance to get a base hit here and drive a couple of runs in and possibly end this game. The winning run is on second base. That is Nolan Hale. Stubenrau bounces the first one in. That is ball one. Here against Owen Johnson. As I said, he got a pinch hit appearance in the game up at Fredericktown, second of the doubleheader. He struck out in that one, and that's what we've seen of him so far. He was injured all of last year, did not get to play. So with 2 outs here, Logan Stubenrau trying to get out of this inning and extend the game. Bell City. Pitcher delivers at a big cut there by Johnson. Swings through it, 1-1. Bell City, Saxony Lutheran on the other hand, trying to get a base hit and into this game here in the third. They lead at 13-0. 15 runs after 3, the mercy rule, and then 10 runs after 5, also the mercy rule in high school ball. Stubenrau brings it home, bounces another one in. It is ball 2 to Owen Johnson. Our game also brought to you by Kim's Ace Hardware, Brooker Auction Service, and the Terry Law Firm. Well, First State Community Bank and Tim Koenig, your Orangeburg Farmers Mutual Insurance agent. Give him a call today. He'll take care of you. 2-1 pitch to Johnson. Swung on and missed. He's up there aggressive, 2-2. Stubenrau started the game at third base. And here he's brought in to try and finish this game out here in the third. 2-2 count from the windup. Stubenrau comes home, bounces another one in. Ball 3, full count for Owen Johnson. On deck is Hunter Hamilton. So he will likely bat here should Owen Johnson get on. Full count pitch to Owen Johnson. Saxony still has Mason Mayhew, Mason Londaway, and Aaron Zellner over there to possibly pinch hit or see time in the game. 3-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. The pitch comes home to Johnson. Driven foul down the left field line. Johnson way out in front of that one. So he pulled that one. He was way out in front. And pitching coach for Saxony, Mark Lewis, brings in a new baseball here. That one, they're probably a little bit saturated after rolling down to the left field line. So they'll trade the wet one now, get a couple of dry ones in the umpire's pocket. So even though the rain has stopped and you can continue to play, here on the turf, if a ball rolls a while, they'll trade it out and get a dry one for the pitchers here. 3-2 count. Stubenrau on the mound. And Johnson at the plate. Runners take off. It's ball 4. Johnson down to first with a walk. So he gets a de facto RBI as well. Scoring is Wilson Lodge. And the next one up is Nolan Hale to third, Lucas Koenig to second, and Owen Johnson now at first base after the walk. And a pinch hitter will bat in place of Hunter Hamilton. So let's see who Coach Sander brings out next. Somebody's grabbing a helmet down there. Can't see who it is just yet. Making his way out of the dugout is going to be... Can't see the number. Number 24. That is Mason Mayhew to bat here. He's 3 for 6 on the season. Team leader with a 500 average. 3 RBIs, a double, a run scored, and 3 strikeouts. So Mason Mayhew bats.
Mason Mayhew,
the lefty, and he's got a chance to end the game with a walk or a base hit. This one is over with an out. Bell City lives to see another inning. Logan Stubenrau on the mound. Mayhew digs in from the left side, awaits the pitch from the windup by Stubenrau. Here it comes. Pop high and out of play over the top of us. Mayhew looking for the big one there, and it's 0-1. Mayhew impressive so far. Getting his 4th appearance of the season. Like I said, 3 for 6 at the plate. With 3 RBIs, he's been productive when he's been there. Has a double. And he was 1 for 2 with a run and a strikeout against East Prairie on Tuesday. And it was Hunter Hamilton pinch hitting in his position late in the game. Ball outside. Well, it ended up pushing another run across late in the contest. It ended up being an important one.
You're going to have to say him out loud because I'm trying to find a stat.
So Mayhew will bat. 1-1 count to him after Stubenrau missed a low and away with that one. Pitch over the zone. Mayhew's going to rip at it. Here it comes. Ooh, take strike 2. So 1-2 to Mason Mayhew. Stubenrau started the game at third and then was traded out for Bryson Maddox as he was put on the mound here. 14-0. Saxony on top of Bell City in the bottom of the third. A run here would end the game. Long look by Stubenrau brings it home. Mayhew swings, misses. It's a drop third strike, and we will move to the top of the 4th inning as Mayhew strikes out there for the 3rd out. Bell City trails it 14-0, and we'll have Baylor Efting, then Chase Schaefer, then Luke Daniels at the plate. After this, on Pure Country, C106.
Here's my options. Reach personal ball, pitch.
Gosh,
Reach
dang it.
personal pass ball. Batter out at first, or other runner out.
Oh, I don't know. I was hoping
Other
to get out
runner
of
out.
it.
Listen,
That's how you can score. What do you think over there?
Don't ask me. I don't know how to score a game.
Oh, Carson's gonna go out there and kiss him.
Oh, we've got defense all over the place. Let's see here.
Lucas is going first. Nolan's going third. Carson's going right. OJ's going second.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you gotta say all these again because I was still working on this.
Hale,
But they should all be.
Johnson Lodge.
Okay, who's at
Well, it
second?
doesn't matter if they don't score 5 runs, because we're.
Don't
we
even
have to
start
bat
that, Tom.
because it's 10 after
right
4.
now.
Oh, yeah, it's 10 after
So
4.
we-
Bob, I gotta get these headers in here, honey. Who's at second?
Okay,
OJ.
let's start.
I've already got everybody. I just, no one's at third. Whoever they batted for, that's a
And
position.
Mayhew went to the outfield also.
Yeah, he's 24. He's in left. And then Carson's in right.
Yeah.
And Zach stayed in. Okay, now you can talk.
Well, I was just telling them what they were all doing.
No, you weren't. You were talking to him. You got mad when I said, hey, I got to get
And then I
this.
throw in the, what's on second? I don't know what's on third.
He did that the other night. I said, this is not funny because they're going to pitch and I'm going to be sitting there trying to figure out where everybody's at.
Who's in the outfield now? Carson's in right.
Right.
Carson's in
And
right.
Mayhew's in left.
Mayhew's in left.
And Mason's still in center.
Nolan Hales at short, or
Third.
OJ went to second.
Defensive switches for Saxony Lutheran. Mason Mayhew in left. Zach Lewis still in center. Carson Burke in right field. And then around the infield, third to first. Nolan Hale, Colin Terry, Owen Johnson at second. Lucas Koenig takes over at first. Wilson Lodge still on the mound here in the fourth inning with a 14-0 lead over the Bell City Cubs, who will bat with Baylor F. Tank. Leading off here, he grounded out to the shortstop back in the second. And Lodge brings it home to him, misses, low and away, ball one. Our game today brought to you by Allison Sanders, your local farmer's insurance agent, along with PJR and Associates, along with Counters, etc. We appreciate their support of Saxony baseball here on C106. Lodge steps off again, wants to run back through the signs from Jacob Johnson behind the plate. And Baylor F. Tank in the box. Second baseman takes this pitch and puts it right up the middle, but Lodge sticks his glove out and grabs it. And a beautiful play there by Wilson Lodge on the mound.
Nicely used one pitcher.
He just dives down there, backhands the ball, and boom, over to first base and out. Wilson Lodge, third baseman last year for Saxony Lutheran, pitched a little bit, and well, I tell you what, he's going to do the same thing this year, but he's the lead man in the rotation this season. And he's a great defensive option. He'll work out of the stretch here to Andrew Martin pinch hitting.
Yes. And then he went straight into his.
Here for Chase Schaefer's position in the lineup. So Martin comes off the bench, cuts at that one. It's 0-2
Yeah, you would.
on Andrew Martin.
Pitch hitter is 20.
Substitution here for Coach Simfer. 0-2 count, one out here in the fourth. Saxony Lutheran has a 14-0 lead on Bell City. And Wilson Lodge looking to work his way quickly through this fourth inning. Pitch comes home. It's a 3-pitch strikeout. And they'll throw it around, makes it 2 outs now. And Luke Daniels will be pinch hit for by Blake Smith.
Pitch hitting to the cut number 3, Blake Smith.
So Smith bats in place of Luke Daniels, the right fielder here. He'll be a lefty, working against Wilson Lodge. Lodge from the stretch brings it home. Fastball, strike one. Lodge giving up just 2 hits so far today, a couple of singles. He's walked several batters though, and against better teams, that's going to be something he'd like to clean up. 0-2 after a swing and a miss there by Blake Smith. Lodge will bring it home, looking to go 1-2-3 here in the fourth. Gets to the inside corner, strikeout number 6 for Lodge in this game. And we move to the bottom of the fourth inning. Zach Lewis's position, then Jacob Johnson's position, then Wilson Lodge's position. We'll see if Sander uses more pinch hitters here in the bottom of the fourth. Saxony leads at 14-0 on Pure Country, C106.
And I guess it is.
I guess we have to put it on.
Let's get a run and go home.
Because it's 10 after 5.
Yeah.
This one is 15
It's
after
15 after 3, 10 after 5.
Yes.
10 after
Yes.
5. Yeah.
10 after 5.
No wonder you were grunting.
They used to, didn't they used to do it 15 after 4 and then?
I don't remember it after 4.
Last year it was after
Yeah.
3 we had 15.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because we had a few of them like that last year.
When I was in school, we were always on the back end of the 10-run rule. There was no 15-run rule. So I was this Bell City pitcher that's coming in just trying to limp the way to the end of the game.
Yeah.
That was me.
That was you.
I've been that guy.
Come on, give yourself a little credit.
No. I just wasn't good. I knew I wasn't any good. I was good defensively, but I couldn't pitch.
Stuff
Yeah.
out here. So the pitcher is now 17.
He was at first. You know that.
First base is now 16. That should be one change.
I don't think the 2 pinch hitters they put in go ahead and get this and the way they held that.
Oh, who
So who is this number
Is that
3?
Londaway? Matt, is 35 Londaway? Do you have your ears on?
Yeah, Mason Londaway. Pinch hitting for Zach Lewis, right? Yeah.
Londaway.
He did not go to a position though last inning, right?
Londaway did
No,
not.
this is first part, first
He's just
inning.
hitting.
He's just pinch hitting.
Yeah, right now, first going into the game. Or first hitting.
Yeah, Zach was still out.
Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Saxony Lutheran 1 run would end the game, and they're going to lead it off with pinch hitter Mason Londaway. This will be his first plate appearance of the season, so we'll see what Mason Londaway's made of. He's a sophomore. What's interesting about Londaway, and I don't know very much about this kid, but I do know this. Coach Sander and Coach Mark Lewis, the pitching guy, they're working with Londaway because he's got a really good knuckleball. So they said if they can get him a couple of other pitches, get him to throw a little bit with his fastball and locate it, maybe working a changeup, possibly some other sort of breaking pitch. He's got a good knuckleball already. And how about a good cut for him? Sending one foul out of the right side. Mason Londaway, he hit something over there. I don't know what that donk was, but it got something over there. Strike one to Mason Londaway. So yeah, in a year or two, you may see Londaway on the mound throwing a knuckleball. You don't see that a lot in high school. Bell City on the mound this inning has Aiden Anschultz. And he brings a breaking pitch home. Londaway's going to poke a single into right field. It's a pinch hit single for Mason Londaway. So the knuckleballer gets a base hit. Boy, I would love to see him pitch just one inning this season. I mean, if he doesn't do a whole lot, maybe he's not ready yet. Only a sophomore. But I'd love to see him try and throw that knuckleball sometime. I gotta catch a practice one of these days or something where he's in the pen. And see what that's all about. So Logan Steubenrau moves to first base where he swap places with Aiden Anschultz defensively for Bell City. Hey, Anschultz got a pretty good little curveball on him right there. That one had a lot of movement as Jacob Johnson bats here and takes that for strike number one. Johnson, a pair of singles. He has an RBI, 3 runs scored. He walked a time. Well, he was hit by a pitch. No, pardon me, he did walk. And fouls this one out of play behind. He's behind 0-2. Aiden Anschultz trying to get out of this inning and move on, and we're out of baseballs, so we need more of those. They'll grab some from the Saxony Lutheran dugout. Counts 0-2 on Jacob Johnson. Aiden Anschultz on the mound. He gave up a leadoff single to pinch hitter Mason Londaway. In his first varsity at-bat of his career, he pokes a single over on the right side. So, not only a knuckleballer, he got a single here. And we get a new baseball out to Anschultz, and we're almost ready to get back to the action. Saxony a 14-0 lead. Nobody out here to man on first. That is the winning run. It's Londaway. After the leadoff single, Anschultz brings it home. As Johnson rips one just foul down the third base line. Boy, that wasn't foul by a lot. And so Johnson staying alive with the 0-2 count. Johnson hit that one pretty hard. Made good contact with that one. Out in front of it, however. So now they cheat him to pull a little bit even on the infield here. And a little bit to pull in the outfield as well. Pitch outside. Nice frame job there by Newell, but he doesn't get the call. Makes it 1-2. Ball was outside. So Anschultz will bring it home from the stretch. Gets the one he wants. Checks on his runner behind him. Here's the pitch. Hit high to left field. He's going to have to go back to get this one is Chase Schaefer, and it's over his head. Here comes Londaway rounding second, and the ball's at the wall. And Coach Paul Sander will hold Londaway at second. Give Jacob Johnson a double with that one. As Londaway is around to third base, the winning run 90 feet away for Wilson Lodge. He can give himself the win on the mound with a base hit here. Even if he just puts it in play, doesn't have to be a base hit. If he gets one high in the air into the outfield, Londaway may try to come down the line and score. Wilson Lodge reached on an error in the first, scored a run, was hit by a pitch for the 4th time this year, scored a run in the second, and then singled and scored in the third. He's had a pretty effective day on the base pass, not only on the mound. Lodge waits this one. Ooh, nice, pretty breaking pitch over the plate once again. And Schultz is throwing that breaking ball for strikes. Got a nice one. Like what I see here. And might be a guy that Coach Sipper was wanting to save for a game they've got scheduled tomorrow or something like that. They're supposed to be, let's see, I've got it written down here. They are, no, I'm sorry, they don't have a game tomorrow. I thought they did. Next game for them is Monday against Puxico for Bell City. And Schultz is on top of Lodge here, 0-2. Is the count. Brings home the pitch. Lodge sits on the curveball, fouls it back, got just a piece of it. Makes it 0-2, still the count. Colin Terry on deck. So even if Lodge can't get the job done, Saxony's got a few opportunities here to bring that run home from third and end the game. 14-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Mercy rule 15 after 3, 10 after 5. So. And Schultz will bring home the 0-2 pitch. Outside, ball gets away from the catcher, and Landaway does not come home. Makes it 1-2 on Wilson Lodge. Our game this evening also brought to you by Jackson Muffler with friendly service since 1987, working on classic cars, modern cars, complete exhaust systems, minor repairs, welding services for other projects too. Jackson Muffler, 123 Hope Street in Jackson. Sponsoring Saxony Lutheran Baseball, along with Tim Koenig, your Orangeburg Farmers Mutual Insurance Agent, and First State Community Bank, locations all over the region supporting local schools and athletes. Lodge sits on the breaking ball, fouls it out of play. 1-2. So a lot of curveballs here for Ann Schultz. That's his go-to pitch. For the most part, he's bringing them over the top of the zone, so he is able to bring them 4 strikes. Like I said, though, this game pretty much in hand. Crusaders just trying to get one more to end it in the fourth. We'll see. Here it comes from Ann Schultz. Lodge at the plate. Hits one, and that's going to do it. Wilson Lodge, an RBI single to end the game as Landaway scores, and Saxony Lutheran wins this game 15-0 in short game fashion here at Capitol Hall Field through a little bit of a drizzling rainstorm early, but Wilson Lodge gets the win on the mound and the RBI single to end the game. So the Crusaders win and move to 4-1 on the season after knocking off Bell City here. Final score in this one, 15-0. We'll take a quick timeout, total a few things up, see if Coach Sander makes his way up here to talk to us, and if not, we'll sign off and get out of here. Thanks to Christian back at the station this evening. We'll take a timeout and be back for final thoughts and see if Coach Sander comes to join us with Pure Country C106. Bell City falls to the Crusaders 15-0 at Capitol Hall Field.
Good to meet you two guys.
Oh no.
Johnny's mom wants to see when she's fixed. She said, that's not called sexual intercourse. Called bunk beds.
We was up here, I tried to figure to tell you guys to come up here, it'll be a lot nicer than down there.
Oh, yeah. That's a big game. Had fun. Got some excitement.
You do a good job. I enjoy it.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it.
Jeff Lively, I work with these guys.
Okay, very good. I
This
appreciate
man's been at the East End before, he's come up to pub and he.
I used to go up there all the time. I ain't been in a long
You gotta
time.
just come up and surprise us once.
Well, one of these days I will.
You need to do that.
One of these
Keep up
days.
the good work.
No, yeah,
Thank you.
he's-
Appreciate
it.
You're on 106 all the time, you
Yeah,
ever
I
listen to, oh, you've listened
I
before,
listen
yeah.
to it, yeah.
He's got a lot of listeners up that way, I guarantee you. You do. You really do.
Oh gosh.
All right, well, let's see.
You bet,
See you guys, thanks for coming.
Yeah. Tell Carson's gonna get some chips on it
Strike out.
for being a whiffler.
He needs to.
A 15-0 win for the Crusaders in this one over Bell City. Like I said, a team that was just overmatched. And this is the Bell City's third game of the week. They played Monday, Tuesday, and now tonight, Thursday. And like I said, it just appeared to me that they ran out of pitching, ran out of arms with the pitch count rules and rest days and all of those things. You know, sometimes, especially at Class 1 school, you just don't have the numbers. You don't have the guys that you can put out there on the mound to throw strikes. And so I think that's kind of what Coach Semper ran into today with his Bell City Cubs. They fall to 2-3 on the season. Then you look at Saxony Lutheran, you know, when the pitches were thrown over the plate, they hit the ball, and they hit the ball hard several times. Drew Haas had probably one of the best hits of the game with that double down the left field line for 2 RBIs in the second. And also Blake Gabler had the triple, the 3 RBI, bases clearing triple in the first, really set the tone for the Crusaders in this one and gave them a 5-0 lead early in the game. And then, like I said, it was all window dressing after that as Saxony continued to pile on in the second, third, and then got the winning 15 run there in the 4th inning. So that's kind of what happened there. Saxony Lutheran even got some pinch hit appearances, and a couple of guys that made the most of their pinch hit appearances, especially Mason Londway. Got the single leading off the 4th inning here. He came around to score the winning run on Wilson Lodge's RBI single. Wilson Lodge got the start on the mound. He got the win on the mound. Went the distance, 4 innings pitched. He had 6 strikeouts in those 4 innings. Only gave up 2 hits. One thing to say about Lodge, though, in this game, he did walk 4 batters in 4 innings, which, if you look at it on the grand scheme of things, that's not terrible. But you know, a number that Lodge, if he's going to be successful, I think, against better teams, if he's Saxony's ace, their number 1, who he's going to be seen against, kind of the best teams that they play maybe this year. That's a number of the walks you'd really like to see a little bit better, see if he can control the ball just a touch more and not walk as many batters. But still, effective game on the mound here for Lodge. He's dealing on a turf field, trying to plant with tennis shoes on wet turf. So he did a good job of getting the job done here for the Crusaders in this one. He picks up his first win of the season, and he'll lower that ERA. Came into this one with a 1.62 ERA this season, and that will decrease, of course, give him a few more strikeouts on his line too. So a nice outing by Wilson Lodge here against the Bell City Cubs. And here's Coach Paul Sander to join us quickly after this one. Got a lot of cords here, Coach, so we'll just stand up and get this done real quick. And a game here where I think it's easy, safe to say, you overpowered them a little bit, and you get the win here, though. You get the game in, and that's the biggest thing.
Well, we wanted to get at least 3 games in this week. We have another game tomorrow. It's kind of doubtful. We don't know whether we'll get to go to Bloomfield or not. If they are willing to come to our place, it's probably 50-50. So we'll decide that by noon tomorrow. But, it's kind of iffy. So, and we got a little bit more rain tonight. But, that's a good effort for us. And the key for me in a game like tonight is everybody got to play.
You betcha.
I love a game where all the varsity kids get to play and we win at the same time.
Yeah, you betcha. And talk about your knuckleballer comes in, gets a hit there for you, Mason Long.
Yeah, we call him the PO.
You had one of those last year.
Yeah, he doesn't bat a whole lot, but he's got a great knuckleball for a young kid. But he comes in there and got him a knock to right field, and good for him.
You betcha. Talk about Wilson Lodge on the mound. You come out to Capitol Hall, it's turf. You're not allowed to wear cleats, so sometimes, especially when it's wet, you guys got to slide around. But they've got it in good shape. We checked it out before the game, and Lodge played well today on it.
Well, Wilson, he was real stiff earlier. He said he was having a hard time loosening up tonight, his legs and his arm, which is understandable when it's 40 degrees. So he got better as the game went on. He didn't really have a lot of velocity early, and his pitch location was not good early. But by about the 3rd inning, he'd settled in and looked like the Wilson we all know. So he finished strong, and I'm sure that makes him feel better. And he admitted that I just couldn't get loose. He said, I'm stiff, I couldn't get loose. And so it's one of those nights, where it is hard to get loose. But, we hit a lot of balls good. We hit a lot of balls hard. The ball's hard to see in the outfield tonight with the rain and the mist. And we hit some good hard balls out there that were difficult.
Blake Gabler in the first inning, he got the triple, I guess you'd call it. 3 RBIs, cleared the bases for you on that one to left center field. He continues to hit the ball well early in the season.
Yeah.
We've talked about him a little bit.
Yeah, young kid, sophomore, got a shot there in that one game, got a couple hits, and now he's made his way into the lineup, so he'll play his way in, and hopefully he can stay there. But that's big early. I mean, it's 2-0. And if they get out of that with 2 runs, they're right there in it. And,
sure.
He plugs the gap and gets the triple 5-0, then that gets to be a lot bigger hill.
Drew Haas hit one down the line into left. That was another big hit for a kid.
And he hit that right on the barrel.
Yes,
I mean,
he
that
did.
ball was scalded down in the corner. You know, he hit it down there by that 330 sign on one hop off the wall. So he hit it really well. And we hit a number of balls well tonight. And again, we had good plate patience. We had good patience at the plate. We continue not to swing at bad pitches, which is sometimes hard to get a kid to do. But we're not swinging at very many bad pitches at all. So, this has been a tough week. I mean, you play Pius, who's very good, and you play East Prairie, who's excellent. And then you come in here tonight, you think, well, are you going to let down? And we did not let down. So I'm real proud of the kids of what they've done this week. And whether we get to play tomorrow or not, it's been a good week.
You betcha. You get 3 wins, and like you said, against a couple of really good teams in Pius and East Prairie. So started the season well. Now 4-1. You've got a couple of games next week on the schedule. Risco and Kelly, it says here. So
yeah, Risco and Kelly right now. That could be added to from the the game tomorrow. We'll see. We've already added a couple other rainout games down the road a little bit, but I don't know where we'll be able to fit this game in tomorrow if we don't play, but. Maybe next week we'll see what Bloomfield's willing to do, and we'll do everything we can to play all our games. We'll do everything we can to make up games that are rained out because I want the kids to get to play a full schedule.
You bet. Coach, anything else you want to add to this one, or looking ahead?
No, we the road again is hard, and this is not really a road game for us. But the East Prairie game, I'm really proud of the kids for that road win because you go down there and. In a tough environment, a tough situation, and against East Prairie's record at the end of the year is going to be extremely good.
You bet.
Because they're very good. And now we go back on the road on a long road trip on Wednesday of next week to Risco. So we don't want to let down there either. That's a small field. It's one of those fields where teams play well at home because they're used to it. So we'll have to be prepared for that and be ready to go down there. And so far, the kids have answered every bell I've asked them to answer.
That's good. Well, you'll get some rest ahead of Risco, being as it's Wednesday of next week. Even if you play tomorrow, give us a weekend in a few days. You'll get everybody kind of rested for that one. So we'll see you maybe tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And if we go tomorrow, Mayhew's ready to go. So we've got one of our top starters rested and ready to go tomorrow. So Mason will go tomorrow if we get to play, and we should know by lunchtime tomorrow.
Very good, Coach. Let me know, and I'll pass it along. That's Coach Paul Sander after the 15-0 win over Bell City here at Kappa Hall Field this evening in short game style. As, like I said, Bell City just overmatched by Wilson Lodge on the mound, and Saxony Lutheran continued to put the ball in play well and have had a good start to the season, both offensively and really defensively, too. Didn't get into that with Coach Sander this evening, but another game where they didn't throw it around, they didn't kick it around or anything like that. So another good win for Bell City this evening. Thanks to Kristen back in the station. Thanks to our sponsors. Matt Drucker signing off and repeating the final score one final time. 15-0 Saxony Lutheran over Bell City from Kappa Hall Field. You heard it on Pure Country C106.
Mm-hmm.